out. Let's welcome Stephanie Miller, Managing Director at Fiscal Note Markets, and Brian Gardner, Chief Washington Policy Strategist at Stifel. Welcome to both of you. Stephanie, let me begin with you. What are the odds that the president gets not all of what he wants, but even most of what he wants? And what are the odds that he's going to be able to pay for it in some form by raising taxes? High, low, middle?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think he's going to get a lot of what he wants or none of what he wants. And I do think a lot of what's out today, the paper that we've seen so far, whatever he announces should stick mostly to that today. It, in some ways, really is the starting gun of a long process that will involve negotiations. Who he's negotiating with, whether moderate Democrats or actually Republicans, will shape where this is headed. But at this point, it really seems like Democrats are planning to do this on their own. And so if that's the case, then they can probably get a little bit more closer to what Biden actually wants than if they brought Republicans in, but probably not that close. The corporate tax rate, for example, Joe Manchin, a needed Democratic Senate vote, has said he doesn't want to go above 25%. So already Democrats are negotiating with themselves.
Well, the proposed, Brian, corporate rate here would be, I think, 28%, up from 21% today. So there obviously is some wiggle room there. Those numbers can be moved a little bit on a sliding scale one way or another. Do you think any Republicans would vote with President Biden and the Democrats on what you see as the bill right now or the package right now, including tax hikes?
So depending on how they move it through Congress, Tyler, I think that if they're separate but kind of co-joined in some way, on the tax package, no. I mean, Republicans may be in disarray and fractured, but there's one principle that unites Republicans, which is opposition to tax increases. So I don't see any Republican, especially those who voted for the 2017 Trump tax cuts, that they're going to reverse course and raise taxes. To me, that's a non-starter. On the spending side, the infrastructure bill, there is bipartisan support conceptually, but funding and priorities are going to tear the two parties apart. I think the Republican leader has already indicated he's probably not going to be on board. They might be able to get a couple of Republicans. Can they get to 10 and then get around a filibuster? Probably not. So that means they're going to go do reconciliation and do a party line, go it alone, as Stephanie alluded to. And so that probably tilts it more towards what the president has kind of outlined.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.